So this is a process. You need to work this into number one. This is the number one thing that you should implement today.
Yeah.
Is how do I keep track of all of these contacts?
I struggle with that.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Business Project Podcast.
Business can be complicated.
We break it down so regular people like us
Can understand and find success. I'm John Crespo, accountant and consultant.
I'm Casey Bryant, marketer and event planner.
If you run a business
or want to run a business,
welcome to the show. Sales processes, I have a struggle with that.
why?
I have so many sales process ideas in my head that I just can't implement.
Implementation is the hardest part
Yeah.
of everything in business, I feel like.
For sure. And I think my biggest issue is I try to do them all at the same time.
Oh, yeah, that's hard too.
When you throw everything at the wind and try to see what sticks, when it comes to sales, it's not necessarily the right approach.
No. Well, and I think it's overwhelming too because 90% of the time you're going to hear no in sales.
Exactly.
You fail more in sales than you succeed. And so if you try something and you're failing, you might quit too soon.
Yeah. So being able to kind of like hone in on one process that you can then trial and error it, find out what's working, find out what doesn't, would probably be the best approach. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. And John, that we interviewed last week, is an amazing, amazing resource. If you guys haven't watched that episode yet, go back and watch our interview with John, and it's got all of his contact information. He showed us through his sales processes. It is all automated. He's a one-man show, and it is all, it just blew my mind.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that episode, I highly recommend going back. The guy is a genius. He does it for a living. So being able to implement that stuff,
Yep.
it's a game changer.
Yeah. So don't get overwhelmed. The purpose of today's podcast is to give you a couple of systems and automations that you can use in your business when it comes to your sales process. And the goal is to just walk away today with just one thing. Just pick one thing that you can implement in your business today or this week, and then you'll be rocking it.
Yeah.
Just one thing at a time.
That's it. One at a time. Check it off. Try it. See if it works. Go to the next one.
Yeah.
All right. I like to start stuff off when we're doing podcasts in defining.
That's what I was going to say. You need to do the definition. Yeah. Yes, you do. You're very good at that.
Because I know everybody's like, all right, sales process. Yeah, that sounds great, but what is it?
Right.
Sales automation. Yeah. Okay. How do you do that?
Yeah.
You know?
Go for it, Mr. Webster.
And you correct me if I'm wrong, right? Or add what I leave out.
Okay.
When I think of sales process, right, is the life cycle of when you meet a potential customer or client to the close, right?
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah. And then what you do in that cycle is the process, right? So is there the meet and greet, right? The hello, right? Like the initial engagement. And then you have the solution, right?
The pitch,
right? And then you have the close, and then you have the follow-up. That's the process.
That's the process.
Wow.
But getting specific into the process
Yeah.
is the important part.
Right.
Making sure that you have some automations put in place. So let's define an automation.
I would say an automation is something that runs by itself.
Yep.
You start the process, and then it takes over from there and runs it and completes it by itself.
So good at defining
So you don't have to
things.
worry about it.
Yes. Yes. So let's go into some systems for our sales process. I want to give you guys some ideas of a basic, if you have absolutely zero sales processes in place, this is kind of a basic rundown of something that you can do that would be really easy to get started.
Yeah.
Number one is you need a database, some sort of database to keep track of all of your contacts and your leads. I know this is something that a lot of small businesses struggle with because they go to mingle events or they go to, these networking things, or somebody messages them from Facebook and is like, hey, I want to know more about your business, or what services do you offer? What's your pricing? And they just reply to that message and then it goes away, right? If they don't respond. So this is a process. You need to work this into number one. This is the number one thing that you should implement today.
Yeah.
Is how do I keep track of all of these contacts?
I struggle with that.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you do now?
Well, now I have a system, right? I have a system that I'm implementing where my website actually captures all that information and creates the database for me. Right. And implementing that system for that. That's where I struggle the most, is when I'm out and about.
Right.
How am I capturing that information so I can follow back up with those people I met? Yeah.
And it can be overwhelming because especially now, I feel like it's so much harder than it was 10 years ago, because as a business, we have a Facebook page and an Instagram page and an email address and a website, and we go out and about, and there's all of these different ways that people can contact us. And so trying to figure out how can we make sure that we're taking all of these and not losing out on opportunities. There's a saying that I absolutely love, and I didn't really understand it until I started thinking about sales specifically and marketing, is that, what is it? A penny saved is a penny earned.
Yes.
Is that the saying?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know who said it. I'm sorry.
It's a good one.
Yeah, we can post it.
It's
we'll
been around
post
for
it in
decades,
the comments. Yeah.
hundreds of years.
A penny saved is a penny earned. And I think that is so important to think of when you are talking about your sales process, because you're going out spending all of this time trying to get people to message you on your social media, trying to email, trying to reach out. That's the whole point in, marketing, or even doing social media or going to networking events. And if you're not fostering those relationships and taking that one person that contacted you and just like really cultivating it and taking care of it, then you're losing out on an amazing opportunity. You have to get another one in order to replace that. And so if you're a penny saved, so if you're saving what is coming into you, it's just as valuable as going out and earning more.
Ooh, that's good.
Thanks.
And that's so
I came
important.
up with it on my own.
Yeah,
no, I'm just kidding.
I know what you did. You like that?
Kind of.
The delivery, because think about this, and this is what kind of irks me, right? When it comes to just social media and internet and all of that, on these get rich quick videos that are out there.
Yeah, so many.
Right? They tell you, hey, establish your business, get all this business, set up business credit cards and all this stuff, and you could you can get 6 figures for your business. They don't tell you that and if you're going to be successful, you have to have a process on how you're going to pay that back, number one. So how are you going to get clients? How are you going to get money to pay that back? And then how are you going to grow, right? You have to have a sales process if you want to truly become a 6-figure business.
Yeah. And you want to cultivate the people that you build relationships with instead of always trying to find new ones.
Exactly.
So much better way to do business.
Repeat business is like the best business.
Yep. Because then those people are also going to be your biggest champions and your biggest cheerleaders.
Yeah.
And they are going to give you the most referrals. And it's just such a better way to do business. So let's get into some systems that are out there specifically to where you can create automations with these systems.
Love it.
And it'll help you today with your sales process. One that we used for a really long time is called Insightly.
Mm-hmm.
And there's several of them out there very similar to Insightly. I think Salesforce is another one. HubSpot. Yeah, there's a lot of these types of systems. And I think what I would recommend, because things aren't going to work for every, we're all different. We all have different needs. We all have different ways of operating. Our teams look different. And so my biggest suggestion would be to do a trial of these and see which one resonates with you better, which one you feel like would be a better fit for your business. But so we used Insightly for a really long time. And why I liked Insightly was because you can set up, it does the whole like sales funnel for you. So you're like, okay, I have a new lead. And then you take that lead and you can create processes after that lead, and it automatically goes in your task thing. So you create this lead, you add this automation to it, and then it'll automatically create a list for you, like follow up with them in 3 days, send them a card, follow up with them in 6 weeks, like whatever. And you create all of that process yourself. And so that is really, really nice. It also gives you the ability to take notes. So like you can go in and say, hey, I talked to so-and-so at this networking event. They have a dog named Spot. And so next time when you follow up with them, you pull up the little note and you're like, hey, just checking on how's your dog Spot doing?
Yeah.
And it just helps build that relationship with them.
I like that.
We stopped using it. Right now we're using Trello.
Okay.
Which is interesting. I feel like Trello is just I like certain things about Insightly better, but I think what we love about Trello is it's not just our sales stuff. Trello
like
is
too,
everything,
right?
workflow, everything. And Trello is a little bit harder to set up because it's almost like a whiteboard. Like they're handing you this whiteboard and you pretty much have to create all of it from scratch. There's templates and things in there. But when you use things like Salesforce and Insightly, it almost does it for you. It's like it has that set up for you. But I really like Trello. And so we had mentioned Insightly, Salesforce, Trello, HubSpot, all of those. But that is something that I think you need to walk away with today. If you don't have something in place to keep track of all of your relationships and all of your leads, that's what you need to do.
What do you think a good system would be for like a retail store or a pizza place?
That's a good question.
There's a lot of those out there, right?
There are.
That want repeat business.
Yeah.
But don't reach out to their previous customers.
Yeah. So one of the things that I was going to get into next, which is a good segue into
Look at that. So
Look
you
at
see how we vibe?
Yeah. Is a text club or an email club, an email list.
That's what I was thinking in my head.
Yep.
All right, good.
Those are, this is another thing that is so incredibly powerful. It takes a lot of work to do in the front end, just like building a sales system. It takes a lot of work to do in the front end, but once you get it set up, it's piece of cake. The hardest part, I must say, about all of this, and I know you can relate because I know that this is something that you struggle with, is using it. So
that's me.
Because those of us
Why are you
that
calling me out like that?
I know, I'm sorry. I struggle with it too. But those of us that are business owners are wearing 100 different hats, and we'll be in the car and somebody will call or we'll answer a message in the middle of a meeting, and then we'll just it'll go away and we'll forget, we have to actually use the system that we put in place. I have to take 2 seconds and put that into this funnel to get it moving forward.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize that there is some front end work that has to be done to create a good system. Take time out of your busy schedule, right? And if you truly want to grow, if you truly want to grow your business, take time out of your busy schedule. And I'm talking to myself at the same time I'm talking to the camera, right? And put the work in to set it up so that then you can save time in the long run.
Yep.
You got to give time to save time.
Not just save time, but get missed opportunities. Like you're missing on so many things by not having these systems set up and put in place.
Missing sales.
Missing
You're missing
sales.
income.
Missing a lot. So with emails, this is something that is very for me right now, because for both the business project and for my other company, Local, I have 2 separate teams working on both of those. We've revamped our platforms for both of those. And so we are completely redoing our entire email strategy. And just with Local, I think there are 70 or 80 emails that we're having to write. Yes. It's a lot. And it's so much work from the front end, but once you get it set up and running, all you have to do is just maintain it. Go in, make sure it's still relevant. If something changes, you change it, tweak something here or there. I mean, you can even get crazy with it. Like a lot of these email platforms, you can create split campaigns. So you create 2 separate email strategies, and then it'll split it off, and then you can see which one does better. So this is all advanced stuff. Don't get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But
work your way up to that.
Yeah. Yes.
Step by step.
Step by step. But there are so many things that you can do. So if you are a retail store or a restaurant, I mean, pretty much any business, you should also have an email list.
Yeah.
And you should also have some sort of text club list, because this is an essential way. Again, a penny saved is a penny earned. This is an essential way to capitalize on the people that have come into your business and that ate your pizza and that are fans of yours already. Just a reminder, hey, we're still here.
Yeah. So I'm thinking in my head, there's probably a lot of people saying, well, okay, I know we do sell some stuff when people are coming in to buy something. How do I gather that information? And your POS system that you use to do the sale gathers that information for you. Mm-hmm. You can download a spreadsheet. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The majority of them probably do. The ones that I know that are out there right now, the Squares and what's the other popular one? There's another popular
one.
Clover, yeah. Mm-hmm. Those gather that information. You can download a spreadsheet and upload it to a texting service or your email campaign service and reach out to those clients and get them back. Mm-hmm. Offer specials for return customers. It allows you to create a campaign, right? Isn't that what they're called? Sales campaigns?
Yeah.
Campaigns to get those clients back.
Yep. Yeah, just to remind them, hey guys, we're here. Remember that yummy pizza that you ate?
Yeah.
Now you can get 10% off.
10% off your next one. Yeah,
exactly.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Or invite your neighbors.
Yes.
For 10% off.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are, I think we're not going to go into a whole bunch of detail today. We have several videos in this series. Or several podcasts in this series that we'll go deeper into some aspects of sales. We're going to talk about how to handle rejection and all of that. I don't remember exactly what, but there's like 5 or 6 more in this. And we don't want to overwhelm you guys, especially if you're just getting started. And even if you are started and you have all of this in place, I think right now is a good time to whiteboard it out, take a look at what you have. How can we improve it? Do our emails need to be updated? If you don't have a text club, let's get a text club going.
Should really get a text club. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Clean out your database of your contacts that you have and just do something.
I want to ask you real quick. What do you think about newsletters?
We do newsletters for local.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I love our newsletter. I think people love our newsletters. Yeah. I think newsletters are great. So my biggest advice when it comes to any email, any text club, any email, any content that you're putting out there, especially if it's invasive, like by invasive, I mean email or text club. It's not like they're randomly scrolling through Facebook. It's kind of interrupting their phone, right? Make sure that it's worth their time.
Worth their time.
Yeah. You don't want to write an email just to write an email. Make sure that you provide value in all of these things that you're doing. And you don't even really want to sell people, quite honestly. Everything that you do, especially from a sales perspective, needs to provide value.
Yeah. Relationship building, right? Getting that, what is the like, know, or the know, like, and trust. Yeah. That is kind of like the focus. So what I like about this podcast today is we're throwing out there different things to think about so that you can come back to the next ones as we drill into them a little bit more, right? There's a lot that goes into selling your product or your service. Are you willing to put in the work?
Yeah.
If you're not willing to put in the work up front, you're always going to struggle you're going to be the hamster on the wheel, saying, why am I not increasing my sales? Why are my sales going down? You're going to be asking yourself that question all the time. Get off that hamster wheel.
Yeah. And I think that this is just a very similar thing with pretty much every aspect of business. For accounting, you have to take time beforehand. You have to make it a priority to sit down, set up a good accounting system, put some automation in place.
So true.
Otherwise, you're going to be at the end of the year and spend 3 weeks and all stressed out trying to figure out how to turn in your taxes. Right?
Yeah.
And hiring an employee. That's another great example. As business owners, we struggle. We don't want to hire people or delegate things because we do it better. Yep. And we don't want to take time to train people. And
ooh, that's a struggle for me.
And build out those systems for them. But even though it takes time at the beginning, it's an investment. These are all investments in your business because you're putting something in, but you're going to get more out of it later.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's all about sustainability too. You know, you're setting yourself up for the long haul. And I was just having a conversation about this the other day with some of my people. Is like, when we're talking to potential clients, don't think about the short-term benefit or the short-term, hey, this is the sale I need. Think about the long-term relationship that you want to build with your client or your customer, because you may not get the sale today, but as long as you stay in communication and you build that relationship, you could get a sale tomorrow, you know,
and
or down the
continue
road.
to provide value.
Right. And multiple times, you know, they'll continue to have you top of mind. And I think that's the best thing when it comes to sales is putting yourself top of mind of who your customer or client is.
Yeah, that's good.
Wow.
Cool. Hopefully this wasn't too much for you guys. Hopefully it was helpful.
It helped me.
Yeah?
It helped me a lot. Because sometimes you got to talk it out.
Yeah.
You know, we're business owners, but we're not experts, right? We're not necessarily experts because we're doing this podcast because we're going through what we're talking about. And that's why we're sharing this with you.
Yep. Yeah, we make it simple. We do all the research and we mess all up all the time so that we can tell you what not to do.
Let us mess it up so you don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So your takeaway today is to find, if you do not have a process in place for your sales, specifically something to track everybody that you talk to, whether it be somebody that bought from you, somebody that you meet at an event, somebody that messages you through your social media or emails you. You need to find a system that works for your business and put that in place.
Yes, that's great. Begin tracking everyone you speak to, everyone you come in contact to, begin tracking it.
Yep.
Good takeaway.
And then after you just start tracking them, then you can build out your system from there. So now we have all of these people in one database. Now, what are we going to do with them?
Yep.
Are we going to put them on an email list? Are we going to put them on a text club? Are we going to, call and follow up with them?
Yep.
So that's what comes next is figuring out what we're going to do now to keep them top of mind.
Ooh, that's good. Write that down. That's your takeaway. Start today.
Today.
Wow, this is good.
Yay.
We had a good one.
This
I hope
is
you
good.
enjoyed it.
22 minutes. We're good.
Awesome. So look, we're right on time too.
Yeah.
So hope you enjoyed this and just follow along because we're going to dig deep and, you know, you're going to get some good tools out of this. And if you want even more, thebusinessproject.com is the place to go.
Yeah. Thebusinessproject.com. I think in the intro, I think we need to change. You guys, in the intro, it says, you say businessproject.com.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's
thebusinessproject.com.
TBP.com.
Lots of great resources on there.
Don't put TBP.com.
No, don't do that. That would be a good domain to own. We probably wouldn't even need to do this.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. We will see you guys next week. I don't remember what the topic is, but it's going to be a good one. It is sales related.
Yep.
Look, a way to come prepared.
Anytime you want to make money, you got to listen to the sales.
Yes. All right. You guys have a good rest of your day. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.